Today, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how to increase your email open rates. So let me dive right in. I think it's super important for you to know that most people check their email 20 times per day, and more than half of those people check their email before social media and before watching the news. And that's according to a recent study that was done by Porch Media Group. Very interesting stats to know, like how important email marketing is. So let me dive right into these tips that I've implemented recently and I've seen great results from. Tip number 1 to help make sure your email rates are increased is just consider switching to a different email service provider. So I did this recently. The rates increased significantly, and I thought maybe just because like I was a new account and they were just being nice, but that really wasn't the case at all. I've seen consistent email open rates that have been higher than I've ever seen before. So the new one that we're in right now is called ConvertKit. So there's a lot of creators that use ConvertKit. It's a super amazing platform. I was just dreading switching over to it because like I've used it in the past and it's just a little bit techie, right? You gotta be real techie for this one. Until you figure it out, then it's good, but like it's easy to make mistakes, but that's not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. If people are getting your emails and they're opening and they're replying and they're engaging with you, then like that's the whole point anyways. So changing to a different service provider is a great move. Tip number 2 is to switch to a different but similar domain. So here's what I mean. Let's say your email domain is www.lionsharecowork.com. What I mean is purchase the domain lionsharecowork.info and begin sending emails from the new domain, lionsharecowork.info. That way you are using a brand new, starting over with your sender reputation, because you don't know like what's going on in the background behind the scenes with your old domain. Maybe you've had it for years and years, maybe you used it on and off, whatever the case may be. Switching to something different but similar while you switch to a new email service provider is like amazing to do. Tip number 3 is to make your email subject lines better. So you should be tracking to see what's working well and what's not, and then what does work well to consider doing that again and again. Maybe not back to back, but doing it again and then switching what's inside the body as well, and then taking the winning emails and then pushing them into a welcome sequence so that more of your tribe, as they enter your world, will get that email. But something that I have put together, that I use myself, is a list of 50 email subject lines that have been working the best over the past 10 years. So whenever I go to send an email, that's where I start with my subject lines. I don't just like wing it or willy-nilly. I put a link down in the description box below so you can get a copy of my best 50 performing email subject lines and try them out on your next few emails. It's super important to know that make sure the subject line is congruent with what's inside of the body of your email. For example, if you say, hey, I got a great new video for you in the subject line, in the body of the email, you don't put a video, then that's going to be problematic and people are going to unsubscribe, they're going to click spam, and that's what you're trying to avoid anyways. You don't want to derail your efforts by misaligning your subject line to your body. Tip number 4, don't use the HTML templates that are inside of the email softwares. Like, just don't use those. The HTML tends to get picked up by spam folders and stuff, so what to do instead is to actually write an email. Write just text and have one call to action inside the email. Something that might help you in this journey is knowing that your emails don't have to be super long. Recently, Neil Patel did a study and he found that the best performing emails of the accounts that he helps monitor are between 99 words and 250 words. They're not like super long emails. So I tried it, and I found that it works really well actually, because it helps me to not be lazy doing under 99. It helps me to elaborate, and then like I was just like, wow, okay, cool. I get closer to 250 like in that range, and it tends to work. Like it works really good, at least in my opinion, as long as you're staying streamlined with one call to action. Tip number 5 is to be mindful of the time that you're sending your emails. So there's studies all over the internet about this. Here's my best recommendation. It's gonna really really depend on who your customer is, and you've got to test. But essentially, what reports are saying online is that the best time to send is between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Sundays are the worst day to send. So keep that in mind. If you're sending and you're sending at like 4 p.m. or you're sending at these weird times, I would recommend is to test it out and see like what works best for you. If you send more than one email a day, or you have one of those days where you need to send more than one email, there's a general consensus in the marketing world that these times that I'm about to tell you work well. So that's 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. That will give you something to go off of, some new things to test, because in marketing, you always have to be testing. And once you figure out something that works, you definitely need to notate it somewhere. In a spreadsheet, I have like what I call a map. If I'm doing email marketing, I have like an email marketing map of subject lines and stats and click-through rates, so I can, and I put a note, don't do this again, or do that again, that worked really well. I do that in email as well as SMS marketing, so I can track what works well, and then I can repeat it and do it again, not right away, but I can make sure it's implemented in the future. So I hope those tips help you. Let me know down below which one you're gonna try first, and let me know how it goes. Reminder, down in the description box below, you'll find my 50 best performing email subject lines. Make sure you download that and give it a try when you are writing your next few emails. Grab one of those subject lines, just compare it to what you normally do, and let me know how it goes. And if you have any great performing subject lines, please drop in the comment box below. I would love to give it a shot and see what we can do. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.